Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, I'm happy to come back to you with another genomics video after a very long time. And this one is going to be on Editas and the impact of the withdrawal of 2 patent applications by the CVC group, I would say Emmanuel Charpentier and Jennifer Doudna from Europe. In fact, in Europe, they had a very strong position with the patent. This, I think, is going to benefit Editas, which is more aligned with Broad Institute, and this is basically the bottom line of the video for those of you who don't have time to see the whole thing. So the bottom line is that Editas is going to do better and going forward. For those who are interested in all the details, I have some detailed analysis which you can check out after the disclaimer. Let's get started. Welcome back, friends. The cancellation of 2 European CRISPR patents by the team of Emmanuel Charpentier and Jennifer Doudna could positively impact Editas Medicine. And that's my personal opinion, not financial advice, so please keep that in mind while you listen to this video. I think Editas, being aligned with the Broad Institute and researcher Feng Zhang, who is the key figure in the CRISPR patent dispute, has got a lot to benefit out here. Here is how this development could affect Editas Medicine. First point I would talk about is the strengthening of Editas' intellectual property position. Editas Medicine, supported by the Broad Institute, has been at the center of the patent battle over CRISPR. The cancellation of Charpentier and Doudna's European patents application reduces the team's hold over key CRISPR patents in the region. When I say the region, I'm talking about Europe, effectively strengthening the Broad Institute and by extension Editas's position in Europe. And the other aspect is that now Editas will have greater freedom in Europe. With 2 key European patents withdrawn, Editas Medicine may now face fewer legal barriers and have more freedom to pursue CRISPR-based research and commercialization in Europe without needing to negotiate licenses or risk infringement claims from Charpentier and Doudna team. And the rest of the market is also watching this, and those people who are doing CRISPR-based therapies and may come up for monetization are taking a close look at this. If you recollect the recent story of Vertex, when Casgevy was approved for sickle cell disease, they went and bought a license from Editas for CRISPR. So other companies which are in similar situation going forward may not necessarily go to CRISPR, they will just go to Editas. And Editas has already got a team ready. As the CEO mentioned, they are reaching out to various companies to sell the CRISPR-Cas9 license. So they are on top of these things to take full advantage of the situation from a IP licensing perspective. So this is where I would contrast CRISPR Therapeutics with Editas. CRISPR Therapeutics is heavy with applications of CRISPR-Cas9. It's got a huge pipeline, lot of alliances, couple of monetized products, one for sickle cell disease, one for TDT. Whereas Editas is more IP heavy, and it has not yet come out with any definitive therapy that has been approved by FDA, and its pipeline as compared to CRISPR Therapeutics is smaller. So please keep those aspects in mind. And from that point of view, you could say that Editas is going to get a lot of benefit focusing on the patent portfolio. Whereas CRISPR Therapeutics is not heavily depending on the patent portfolio, it's depending more on its ability to deploy CRISPR-Cas9 to deliver real-life solutions which can be monetized. And it's making progress in multiple avenues, as can be seen in its pipeline. So from that perspective, CRISPR Therapeutics retains its superiority. But on the other hand, Editas, which was relatively weaker as compared to CRISPR Therapeutics, now becomes much more capable, basically because of the IP. Now, this causes increasing license opportunities because Editas could potentially gain more leverage in licensing deals with companies looking to develop CRISPR-based technologies, especially in Europe. As the Broad Institute's patents are still intact, Editas can position itself as a stronger player for companies seeking to use CRISPR technology, enhancing its revenue through licensing. And remember, friends, licensing revenue has got an expiry date, right? I think it's 10 or 20 years. I'll have to check it up. I suspect it is 20 years. So you can already count from when the licensing started and when it's going to end. So there isn't much left here in the long term. The short term, yeah, there is something for Editas. The other aspect I would talk about is potential for market expansion, because the cancellation of these patents could give Editas a competitive advantage in Europe, where Charpentier and Doudna's patents were previously considered strong. If competitors like CRISPR Therapeutics or Caribou Biosciences face IP challenges due to cancellation, Editas could seize opportunities to expand its market presence in the region, particularly in CRISPR-based therapies. The other aspect we have to look at is accelerating product development in Europe. I think with a clearer patent landscape, Editas could potentially fast-track its product development and clinical trials in Europe, securing partnerships and approvals without significant IP roadblocks. This, in turn, is going to lead to strengthening investor confidence. Patent disputes in biotech have a significant influence on investor sentiment, and this development is likely to be viewed as a positive for Editas. Investors may perceive the cancellation of Charpentier and Doudna's patent applications as a sign that Editas' CRISPR IP position is stronger, which could lead to increased confidence in the company's long-term prospects and therefore a better share pricing by reducing the risk premium. And then we would also have to look at the fact that they have reduced legal risk, because with fewer patent disputes to contend with in Europe, Editas may face reduced legal and financial risk associated with IP litigation, making the company more attractive to investors. And of course, if we look at stock price volatility, positive news surrounding the strengthening of Editas' position in the CRISPR IP battle could result in upward momentum in its stock price, as investors may see this as a major win in the long-running patent saga. But at the same time, I wouldn't say that CRISPR Therapeutics is going to see dropping share prices. Of course, the share price will go a little bit weak to the extent that investors look at the component of revenue CRISPR Therapeutics gets from the IP licensing. But CRISPR Therapeutics is rich with a lot of therapies in its pipeline. So I don't think CRISPR is going to suffer too much, but there will definitely be a little discounting of its premium, and there will be a little increasing of the premium for Editas. Now, let us talk about competitive advantage over rivals. Companies like CRISPR Therapeutics, Intellia Therapeutics, and Caribou Biosciences, which are aligned with Doudna and Charpentier, might see their competitive positioning weakened in Europe due to the loss of key patents. This creates an opening for Editas to position itself as a leader in the CRISPR market, especially in regions where the Broad Institute's patents are seen as stronger, which is US right now, and in future it's going to be Europe as well. Now look at the strategic partnership. Editas can now have an advantage in securing partnership with European biotech firms and pharmaceutical companies that want to pursue CRISPR-based therapies without concerns over IP challenges related to Doudna and Charpentier's now withdrawn patents. Opportunity to capture licensing revenues is also there for Editas. In collaboration with the Broad Institutes, they have been licensing CRISPR technology to companies for various uses, from gene editing in plants to medicinal applications. The withdrawal of these European patents weakens the competing patent portfolio of Doudna and Charpentier, which would allow Editas to capture a larger share of the licensing revenue from CRISPR application. And this in turn would lead to higher licensing fees, because with reduced competition from CRISPR Therapeutics and other companies tied to the CRISPR IP, Editas may be able to charge higher licensing fees, particularly for exclusive access to certain CRISPR technologies. And if you recollect, the way Editas approaches licensing is that they license each company for a specific indication, for a specific gene. It's not a blanket license as such. So they are then able to make sure that the companies which have taken the license are working on a time-bound plan in order to generate revenues and give royalties after monetization. So if any of those companies fall behind the agreed timelines, then those gene targets could be given to somebody else. At least that's my understanding of how Editas operates. And I think that's a very good approach, and that can maximize the revenue for Editas from the CRISPR IP before the patent expires. And then companies looking to secure IP for CRISPR-based innovations might turn to Editas and the Broad Institute more frequently now, given the uncertainty over Charpentier and Doudna's remaining patents in Europe. So in summary, I would say the withdrawal of 2 European patent applications by Doudna and Charpentier for CRISPR-Cas9 is likely to be a positive development for Editas Medicine. It strengthens Editas' IP position in Europe, potentially reduces its legal risks, and opens up opportunity for market expansion and increased licensing revenues. This development also boosts investor confidence as it positions Editas more favorably in the ongoing CRISPR patent battle, allowing it to capitalize on the weakened position of its competitors like CRISPR Therapeutics. Now, just like I did for CRISPR Therapeutics, I'm going to look at Editas' price chart and give you some ideas of what I think is going to happen out there. And friends, remember, these are all my personal opinion, not financial advice. So please do your own due diligence before making any investments. Well, friends, here we are in the TradingView platform, and you're looking at the one-day chart for Editas. When I say one-day chart, what I mean is that each of these candlesticks are one-day candlesticks. You can see we have had very small range of trading. Share price is also very low, $3.48. It has fallen from a huge high price level to where it is right now, and at this point of time I don't see much of a reflection of this news, because I would have expected a little more jump for Editas as compared to a smaller drop for CRISPR Therapeutics, but it is still in a positive trend. It's being held down by the 9-day exponential moving average. Right now the chart is as weak as it could be, so I think that in the next few days we may probably have an opportunity to benefit from Editas. And here is the resistance line that I would like to draw. I think I would peg the resistance at this level, roughly at this level. So I'm going to mark this red, and I'm going to put a support somewhere around here. I'm going to mark this green. So this is the range in which it is. It has been trading, and I think it's at an all-time low at this point of time, because it has never been this low before. So just looking purely at technicals, I would say that we may have an opportunity of testing our resistance at 4.11, which means that we have around I think 70 cents worth of upside still for Editas, assuming that the rate cuts are also going to have a positive impact on the small cap companies and the higher risk companies and companies which are having precarious financial conditions but not making any money. I think Editas falls in that kind of a bracket, and it should definitely benefit due to rate cuts. And the fact that the patent news is more in favor of Editas, and Editas has recently secured payment from Vertex for Casgevy. All of those things are very strong points, and if you look at the that particular news, I think that there should be enough juice for us to go back up and test this resistance at 4.11. But momentum is looking weak, and MACD is also bearish, so we'll have to see what happens in the market, because at the end of the day, what you and I think is a value of a share doesn't matter. If the market doesn't think it's worth that much, it doesn't matter. And as you know, I am a real estate broker, so in real estate business also we say a house is worth what somebody is willing to pay for it. So the market decides. So we may have all kind of optimistic views, but if the market decides to ignore this IP saga altogether, we may not see much of a difference. But even in that case, if looking at the past trajectory, I think the chances of us going forward and testing 4.11 in the near future is much higher than us falling below this support level of 3.37, given the patent news and given the interest rate reduction that is going on. Well, friends, that's the long and short of what I think about Editas Medicine, and I look forward to your feedback, because each one of you has your own experience dealing with genomics shares and other shares. So please do not hesitate to give me your feedback on my analysis, because one of these days I might use my analysis to invest, and I would definitely like to get the benefit of your wisdom as well. So put your thoughts in the comment section. Let us share our intelligence, so that collectively as a ShareTreck community we can make better investment decisions, especially in the genomics sector. Thanks and have a great day. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.